I love doing crime.
Crime's the best.
Hey, Ian, what are you doing?
I'm also doing crime.
Hey, what's that thing?
But first, a message from our sponsor.
Oh, hey there. I'm trying to think of a cool DIY costume to wear at the office on Halloween. I wonder where I can learn the skills to make my own costume. Oh, I know! Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with more than 25,000 classes in design, business, and more. Whether you want to fuel your curiosity, creativity, or even career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep you learning and thriving. I took Vero B's class on how to make a costume for Halloween. Her face painting techniques gave me exactly what I needed to turn myself into a silly clown. I'm so silly. Skillshare is also super affordable, and an annual subscription is less than $10 a month. Premium membership gives you unlimited access, so you can join the classes and communities that are just right for you. Hi! Magic! Join more than 7 million creators learning with Skillshare. Click the link in the description and get a 2-month free trial.
Chopping Mall.
Yeah,
A bunch of
Killbots.
Yeah.
Original title.
So in this movie, a bunch of laser shooting robot security guards break up an orgy at a shopping mall and murder a bunch of 80s stereotype teenagers.
Yeah, pretty much. It's also the most awkward orgy I've ever seen in my life because everybody's kind of just doing their own thing, but it's like they're all having sex like within 8 feet of each other, which I'd be like kind of like, hey guys, can you like go into another room or some shit? Like what the hell's wrong with you?
It's at like a furniture store?
Yeah, it's just like, did that happen in the 80s? Is that what people did?
Listen,
Like break into a mall, first of all, and then
you break into a mall, you stay there after hours, you have an orgy, that's good times to the max.
Well, they didn't really break in, they worked there.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. They work in this store, and that's what they do. Like, they're selling beds and furniture.
I mean, I forget a lot.
Okay, so it's not, all right, so
it's
the
not
movie,
a very memorable.
the movie just starts.
Yeah.
You hit play, it plays one logo, and then it just starts with like someone robbing the mall. No opening titles, no song. It just opens with a guy busting in glass and a protector unit, shooting him in the back with a taser, and then it turns out to be a presentation or whatever.
It reminded me of RoboCop 2, where it's like that commercial that starts the movie, and it's the guy robbing the car, and the car like attaches to him and like laser shocks him and everything. It's almost like that, where it's like this false start of like not what the movie is, but then it's just like, it was interesting. It was an interesting film.
Good. Listen, this is
it was a lot lot of fun. This is a very fun movie.
This is a Corman production.
And Roger Corman, as you know, he's like, there's probably no living legend today who has made so many movies. Like since the 50s, that he made like 100 movies a year. This guy was just like the guy.
I know this movie was written in 24 hours. I think it only took 20 days to film it or something like that at that mall. And so all in all, this movie probably came out and it took 2 months to do, including editing and music and everything.
Wow.
And the score of this movie is amazing.
Yeah, the music's really good. Good synth like.
Yeah, it sounds like it was made on like a Casio wristwatch.
It's like that.
Yeah, and I love that when they're playing that and you're just seeing this montage of the mall, and it's just like showing you everything that goes on.
The mall culture.
The mall culture. Like we see it, we get it. It's like, okay, it's a mall, but they really want to show you all the things that are going on in this mall. Yeah. And it's nothing out of the ordinary, but they're all very specific to the 80s. Like, you know, like every cup in the 80s was like that Coca-Cola, you know, that.
Like, and there's never a straw in it. They're always open, and they're just like the girl's like, oh,
all this stuff, And there's like a kid like skateboarding just like inside the mall. I've never seen that in my life.
Well, then you've never seen Freddy Got Fingered, because that happened, and that's the opening sequence.
I have seen Freddy Got Fingered, just like 15-something years ago, probably.
But the mall, there's like people making out. There's old people kind of making out. There's people stealing from a vinyl store. That's a really good montage, and it's like, you know, kind of prepping you for what's going to come next. And mind you, this is the same mall from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Okay.
And Commando.
Oh,
when he's
no
swinging.
way. Okay.
So it's the same mall from that, and a lot of people.
Those elevators looked familiar.
You know,
actually, now
they
that I
needed
think about
those robots when Arnold was fucking everybody up in that mall. He could have taken John Matrix could have taken these robots.
Robots,
still,
yeah, probably. Or would they have blown his head off like they did? Like, they would have just shot him with lasers as all that's going on?
May I see your identification badge, please?
You know, some people also say this movie's in like a fake trilogy with like Night of the Comet and I guess Fast Times because there's like the same girls working at that mall and stuff like that.
Now it's more of a quadrilogy.
Yeah.
Are they? Yeah, right. Now that I guess like that's the thing.
And
Commando brings it full circle. They got rid of them, and then they're like, man, we really needed it that day. That crazy giant man was beating all of us up.
Oh.
That's a really unlucky mall. There's a lot of people that have died in that mall. Dick Miller dies. A bunch of kids die.
Yeah. Dick Miller.
Rest in peace again.
Dick Miller gets a lot of mentions this month. I mean, he is great. He's one of the all-time he's just that guy that appears all the time, and you just know his face, but not necessarily know his name. It's not a real 80s movie without Dick Miller in it.
Yeah.
And of course he gets killed in what made it into Cinemassacre's top 10 electrocution scenes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I knew you bastards were gonna be trouble when I first brought you in here.
So I guess the movie starts with the protectors that are protecting the mall, I guess, and lightning hits the building as is often to do, and then they go haywire. They kill the scientists.
They're robots designed to they're security
Entrap
guards.
people.
They're basically meant to protect the mall.
But they have laser vision. That's all different colors.
Yeah, it's like G.I. Joe lasers too.
Well,
They're just
there's
flying all over the place.
There's blue ones. There's like pink, red ones, and then there's green ones. So you know which protector unit is it 1, 2, or 3?
I did not notice
which
that.
Which is weird. Well, we were watching it first. We thought maybe the blue's the boy one and the pink's the girl robot. But no.
Is there a girl robot?
That'd be cool. Well, in the beginning they say that the second one's the ethnic robot, which I was like,
Did they?
But yeah.
Why don't I remember
it's
that?
the two people in the front who work at the restaurant, the old guy with the beard, and they're just cracking jokes the whole time during this presentation. I don't know.
Bringing in a classic territory, I forgot to mention Roger Corman directed Attack of the Crab Monsters, which is the movie that appears on the TV.
They're watching it.
In this.
Oh.
And also, a lot of the sound effects of the robots are from War of the Worlds. And it's the exact same.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's not all the laser sounds, it's just some of them. There's a very specific choo-choo that is War of the Worlds. It's
you mean the lasers that sometimes, blow your arm off, or sometimes they just burn cotton on you, or sometimes they break glass and sometimes they don't, or sometimes they just blow your fucking head off. Those lasers.
I feel like the one girl's death who just gets her head exploded is where all of the budget for deaths went, because everyone else was like, just put a little blood in their mouth or something like that. Like, that's about it. Nothing really happens.
Like most times, like the robot claw will just come up and it'll just crush their neck off camera and they'll just die really quick.
But her head fully explodes, and that was the most gruesome one by far. And it happens like right in the beginning.
Yeah, and not just that, like not only does her head explode amazingly, but then in the credits, they show her name over her head exploded.
Yeah, it's like a picture of her like this, and then just poof, it's just the next thing is her head explodes, even in the credits.
And if this movie were a remake of anything, I mean, it's not, but there's a movie from, the 50s or 60s. I can't remember which decade. It's called Gog.
Oh, Gog.
Yeah, and Gog is like the classic killer robot movie. I mean, it's a minor classic. I mean, I'm not saying, go out of your way to see it, but it has robots which have like the treads, or they move around in that same kind of way, and they're lab robots in this one, and they get out of control and they kill people. So the idea of killer robots, it's a very classic concept. So if you were to go all the way back, it's GOG.
Yeah.
But Chopping Mall definitely heats things up.
Like there was also a TV movie in the 70s called Trapped, but it had nothing to do with, even it's different, but it's about the same kind of
killer
scenario.
robots.
Yeah.
I think Jurassic Park stole the idea for this movie because it's about they're doing a presentation to a bunch of people about this new thing in the beginning, and then it's just like John Hammond,
And then they go,
and then they're like nothing, everything's safe, everything's cool, and then a freak storm unleashes these robots which start attacking everybody and move from the confines of their area to the rest of the mall. It could be called like Robot Mall instead of Jurassic Park or whatever.
that's the thing.
They also look like Johnny Five with the treads.
Remember whenever they kill someone, they say "Have a nice day."
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
I'd like to cut in when they kill someone. They go
Disassemble.
Yeah. I thought it was. I mean, okay, that's what the robots say. But when she kills the last robot, she says, "Have a nice day." I thought, that's such
it's weird
for the one-liner for like the final kill. Like it's just, it's not good.
The movie kind of. So it's called Chopping Mall. So it's supposed to be at a shopping mall. It's almost like they came up with the title first, but I know like a janitor or something came up with it, like who worked at the mall. Because originally it was Killbots.
Yeah.
But Chopping Mall is great because it's like a shopping mall where you die.
Yeah.
And even like, if you look at the poster, which is kind of cool, it's like this like evil hand, like frickin' the fucking Mad Claw from goddamn Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
Holding like
Dr. Claw.
Dr. Claw holding a bag that's full of like organs and blood and like people, and you're like, where's that movie?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't think anyone was actually chopped in this entire movie.
That's the only part that disappointed me because, I mean, okay, the robots shoot lasers, and look, I love robots shooting lasers. Of course, I put a scene in the Nerd movie, and the robots are shooting lasers at me. But I wanted to see the robots have more weapons. I wanted to see like a switchblade, like a switchblade knife where it has all kinds of different contraptions. Like it's like, okay, now it's a laser, but now the laser gun goes in, and now like a blade comes out. Now they're going to use the blade, and like
the only trouble is that's budget, and this is a Roger Corman joint.
That's true, and I do got to compliment though, for a movie with a budget of this type, they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, it was like under $1 million.
Yeah, like that final explosion when like the whole storefront explodes.
That was cool.
Like that looked like they just blew up a storefront. Yeah. Explosions in a movie, they can be really exciting when they're used like seldom. Like nowadays we're so used to everything's blown up all the time. But this is one of those movies where when that explosion happens, you feel it. You're like, whoa, because you got to save it. You got to save that explosion.
Yeah, the problem is if you tried to do this movie nowadays, it goes because I know someone bought the rights to it, and they're like 2011, they were trying to make another Chopping Mall. Huh. You'd make it about drones. They'd be flying around the mall. No one really hangs out at the mall anymore, so it wouldn't matter. Yeah. They'd be blowing up everything. It'd be too much. I think this movie had enough stuff going on with it where you wouldn't need it, because I really hope they don't remake this thing.
Yeah. Nobody hangs out at the mall anymore.
Nope.
No?
Not like that.
Where do they hang out?
At home.
Yeah.
Really?
Do people hang out? I don't think that happens anymore.
Huh.
I think, what's it called? Who do you think's tougher, the girl in this or Sarah Connor from Terminator 1? Because they both, in my opinion, look kind of the same.
And with the big hair.
Yeah, they're both and they're both like restaurant workers, and they're kind of like thrust into this robot situation that they have to deal with.
If it's Terminator 2, it's Sarah Connor.
If it's Terminator 2, but I'm talking 1. Like this is, no, definitely not Terminator. Terminator 2, Sarah Connor would kill everyone in this movie and the robots without even batting an eye. Yeah,
I can't wait to see. Terminator 1. Terminator 1, Sarah Connor versus whatever her name was in Chopping Mall. I mean, that's comparable. I mean, she does take down the final robot, but I think her flaw was when she stopped to say, "Have a nice day." She should have just done it right there, just kill it, because she paused for that moment. It's like the robot could have just shot you with the laser
and blew your head completely off.
Sarah Connor, Terminator 1, would have not done that.
Also, she says you're terminated at the end of Terminator 1.
She does,
she has a one-liner also.
Sarah Connor starts weak and then ends by just crushing the thing. But in this one, like the girl knows how to use a gun because she's the one that can shoot the propane tank.
She was actually pretty. Yeah, she knew. Like, I guess that's the thing is like Sarah Connor learned everything after Terminator, you know, like, and then went into Terminator 2 tough.
Yeah.
But in this, like, the girl was already like somewhat combat ready, which, you know, it's I always find funny too. Like, these malls always had just gun stores.
Oh yeah, there's like
the
Dawn
of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead
Yeah.
also. Yeah, I was always just like, is that even? I guess that was a thing at one
California.
point. Yeah. It's just, I just feel like it's like you get so used to like a gun store is its own separate thing somewhere else. I could never imagine walking into a mall and they like, okay, they maybe like a Dick's Sporting Goods has like rifles and shotguns, but they had straight up like M16s and stuff. They had like military weapons. Yeah.
Which is funny, they don't work except when the one kid shoots the protector right in the face, its laser stops working. That would have solved the whole problem. They can't get you if you're just like...
Well, they could still grab you with those robot hands that launch out.
Speaking of which, they're on tank treads. They never run anyone over.
Yeah.
Because you know when the girl's on fire on the ground? It would have been amazing if the thing just ran her over.
I mean, they might not weigh that much. Maybe they're only like, you know...
I guess you could always say like the protector units, like they were military and they bought them for cheap, and that's why they have all these extra things.
Yeah.
But they built them specifically just to protect them
for a
all.
mall.
And they have C4, they have the laser eyes, they have the grabbers, they have the poison darts, they have the taser things. So it's really confusing. Like if you did it modern or if you fixed the movie and give it a bigger budget, you could say they were military things that they just dumbed down.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why they have all the gadgets.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes more sense. I feel like that's the thing is like nowadays people are a lot more aware of like military technology. So the idea of it being originally decommissioned, like a military project that didn't make it, so they sold it privately or whatever, makes sense. But back then they're just like, oh yeah, this company just makes mall droids or whatever, like, and that's it. Like that's the whole company. And they're going to be out of business if you think about it. It killed
gonna be bad for them.
janitor. It killed a bunch of kids.
Oh, you know
in the mall and
that's the
stuff.
sequel. The military buys them because of how great they are.
Oh, it was like maybe that's what it was. It was
a
really
test.
a military test.
False
like,
flag operation.
like pretty much like what's it called? Like they were like, you know, we need some in-field combat data, but it's like they got it on a bunch of kids that were banging and stuff like that. That's all they were doing. It's not like they're going into like military. But if you sent that into like a war zone, they'd get blown up in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Especially like any you know country that is a tank.
Yeah, like they could call this movie Robo Cops. Because they're essentially...
This came out a year before RoboCop. I feel like they rushed this one. They shit this one out so people would care about robots.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because if it came out after, they could call it Robo Cops.
Yeah.
Robo Mall Cop.
Robo Mall Cops. Yeah.
Paul Blart, Robo Mall Cop.
Oh my God. To be honest, I think
Paul Blart in a wheelchair with the helmet on. That's fun.
I think like movies like this movie is a product of before RoboCop, before Terminator, because I feel like you can't do a robot movie anymore unless it's really damn good, or else it's going to be like no one's going to watch your shitty B movie after RoboCop came out or after Terminator came out. But
yeah, it's like no one's watching Carnosaur and
after Jurassic Park. I mean, as a joke.
Yeah.
Or you're Tony or whatever. But you know, you can't like do robot movies like that unless they're really high budget now. I feel like because of this, because of all these movies we have now.
Yeah.
Plus, and I mean, Terminator's even become a kind of parody of itself almost in a way. Well, we'll find out, I guess, when the new one comes out. Yeah,
I have high hopes.
I do too. I'm hoping it's good. I saw some stuff about it, like the trailer. It looked cool. I really hope it's good.
Well, we'll know in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't disappoint me.
Yeah, well, they got Sarah Connor back, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. And Arnold.
Yeah, we're gonna need a modern chopping mall movie. Bring those kids back.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Bring the girl and the guy who had to soak up all his blood with toilet paper at the end.
Oh, the toilet paper, that was great. Chuck Carino, I think, did all the music for it, like the Casio sounding synth stuff.
Okay.
It's a pretty cool product.
Yeah, the music's great in this movie.
And speaking of synth, you know our friend Protector 101. Protector 101, he's a synth music EDM type guy. Yeah. He wears the helmet like from this movie. He did he did all the Terminator sounding music in the Pepsi Man AVGN episode.
Yeah.
And our My Paperboy thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
check out Protector 101 as well.
Actually, when I watched this movie, I came into the room. No, you were like in the other room when I was watching it, and I came in. I'm like, "Is this where he got Protector 101 from? Is from this movie?" And you were like, "Yep." And I was like, I was like, I can't believe it because I did. I just watched this, but I recommend it. I think it was fun.
Any final thoughts, James?
No, it's just another fun movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Killbots 2.
If you like killer robots, check it out.